low profile step deck or standard step deck? Which one you should choose? My name is Ruben. I'm with RouteOne Trailers over in East Dundee, Illinois. And today we're gonna make a comparison in between these brand new extreme step decks and check what's the difference. Both of these trailers are the same model, XS60, and both of them are 53 foot long. Both trailers are 2 axles and rear axle slide, and they're set up California legal when the rear axle is slid forward. The main difference between them is the deck height from the ground up. And so this is standard, and we're gonna measure it. This is set up to be about 43 inches from the ground. Comparing with the Low Pro, which we've got about 37 inches. And so we talk about 5 to 6 inches difference in between them, depending on your fifth wheel height. And that 5 to 7 inches might play a big role when you haul tow loads. Now, there's other things that are different on them. The neck transition, it's obviously gonna be different. And so if we measure the standard one, we're gonna be at about 21-inch neck transition, comparing to the Low Pro that we're sitting at 27 inches transition from the upper deck to the lower deck. The ground clearance on the standard step deck, it's about 15 inches from the frame to the ground. And comparing to the low profile one, you have about 9 inches ground to bottom of the frame. And so you gotta be really careful with this when you cross very steep railroad tracks. You don't wanna get stuck, or you don't wanna get stuck in any sort of big bumps or docks that you might use. Both trailers have Hendrickson suspension, but the model is different because the wheel size is different. The standard step deck has got a 255/70 22.5 tire, which is a very common tire to find anywhere on the road or at any repair shop. The same thing applies to all the other parts of the suspension, and we're talking about brake shoes, brake drums, airbags, or any other part, readily available to buy anywhere at a decent price. The low profile trailer has smaller tires, and the size is 245/70 17.5. Those tires are not that easy to find on the road, and they're not that easy to be replaced. You can only replace it at a certain shop that they have machines that would mount and dismount the tires from the wheels. They're also more expensive. In addition to that, the entire axle, because it's a different tire size, it's got different parts, and so it's got different brake shoes and different drums. Those are more expensive and not so easy to find on the road. And so pay attention to that. Many of you guys that have used low profile step deck, or if you're thinking to buy a low profile step deck, you heard about blowout tires on the road, which is pretty costly to repair and do maintenance on this type of trailer. Now, I have a few recommendations that can prevent all those major expenses that were not planned. And the recommendations are the following. Speed limit. Keep the speed under 65 miles an hour all the time if you use 17.5 tires. Second, buy a good brand of tires, USA Premium. If you want to buy Michelin or Bridgestone, Continentals, any sort of good brand that's going to last longer. And the most important is about the tire inflation system. If you buy a trailer like this, make sure that you have Hendrickson suspension with Tire Max Pro inflation system. What that does, that will allow to set up the tire inflation system to inflate those tires at 125 psi. You can set to deflate the tires 10 psi more, and that would be about 135. If your tires are gonna get very hot because you have a heavy load, they're gonna be expanding and inflated, and they're gonna blow out. Well, the tire inflation system, it's gonna deflate your tires and it's gonna prevent all those blowouts. Another thing that I recommend is get yourself another spare tire so you have it with you at all time in case anything happens on the road. You hit a tire, you damage it. As I said, those are not easy to find. You keep that spare with you, you do a replacement, and you're good to go. If you want to buy a standard step deck, generally you're going to haul loads up to 47,000 pounds, maybe 48, and up to 10 feet high. If you want to be a little more specialized, you can buy the Low Pro step deck that you can haul loads up to 10 feet and 5 inches, possibly 10 feet and 10 inches if you go West Coast. And so those specialized loads are going to pay a little better, and technically you can afford to pay a little more for a better trailer with nicer specs, so you won't have all these maintenance and repair costs that you never expect to have. If you like this video, please share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel to stay updated about any news in the open deck trucking.